politicians do not take time out to organize the community. As a matter of fact, they appear to be afraid to organize the community. But, of course, reality and truth tells us that the only way you get power is when the people are in fact properly organized. But our major task is to organize our people because we really have no power at all. As a matter of fact, since the 1960s, we still have no power. We have some visibility, some more tricks, but as a matter of fact, the situation is getting worse. And the responsibility for organizing our people rests on each and every one of our shoulders, not just on one person's shoulder, not just a leader on the community, not just a preacher, but everybody has a responsibility to help organize the people. And perhaps in our discussion today, as we said, if this can come across more than anything else, then we will have served our purpose, that is, the responsibility for organizing the people. We can just discuss, however, organizing the people. Certainly we're disorganized. You see that, right? If you will organize the people, tell me one of the first things.
Well, you have to get their attention.
You have to get their attention.
You have to be interested in what you say.
All right, I like the first one. That's a good step. You must get their attention now. All right, let's think about some ways of going about to get their attention. If you wanted to get their attention, what were some of the things you would do to get their attention? Now, let us rule out immediately the mass media, all right? Let's rule that out completely because we don't control it, number one. The mass media is an arm of the United States government. Two, the mass media supports, sustains the capitalist system. Three, therefore it is to be properly understood, number four, that the mass media will not give any publicity to something that's going to destroy that which it supports. So we must leave out completely the mass media. We don't control it. So without the mass media, how would we go around trying to get the attention of our people? Stanley, why don't you help us?
We have to,
Louder.
I guess we have to make each other see that there's a need for us to come together. We have to bring out what it is, the problems that are common.
All right. We could bring out the common problems, show us the necessity to come together. All right. These policies, but I think what I was looking more for were tactics on how to bring the people, how to get the attention of the people. What simple little thing could you do to get the attention of the people?
It's word of mouth, communicating with each other.
Exactly. It's one, word of mouth. Just like we did with this little meeting, just go around, try and get the people. That's one way, yeah. Because you see, sometimes organizing the people appears to be a very difficult task. And especially this country, they try to make it appear as if it's impossible that our people just can't be organized. They make it appear that they just can't. In fact, people tell you all the time, well, you can't organize them. They ain't never going to come together. You know? And one of the reasons is because they make it so mystical, organizing the people. We must find scientific, step-by-step little approaches to bring our people together. My brother. Yes. Yes, all of them, all organizations are set up on ideologies, whether the people in the organization understand it or not. Of course, for example, America is a capitalist system, therefore the capitalist ideology reigns supreme, whether we are aware of it or not. But once you function within the society, if you're not functioning against the ideology, then unconsciously you're part of it. What are the things we can do, my brother?
Our people are very much in tune with day-to-day listening, not music. Maybe we could instruct our people who play the music, put a message in their music, to organize.
All right, we can try and do that, but we don't have any power to make them do it. As a matter of fact, if you notice very carefully, what happens is that some of them start off saying some real things, you understand, talking real bad, and then the man give them a little bit more money, and then they start talking more love and less struggle. So, while your point is good, you see, we have to look at the reality. For example, we can't say to the Funkadelics, for example, hey man, y'all are just, we can't do it. There's no way to force them. because you don't have any organization. Even to go put guns to their head and tell them, if you sing this nonsense again, we're going to kill you. Even to do that, you must have an organized force. So in lack of the organized force, what you say is correct. We can go and try and make them conscious, but most of them anyway, with the money they're getting, they just can't see the people yet. You know. Some ain't even getting money, they're just getting publicity.
I noticed that there are a lot of little organizations within that concept. The main thing is to get leaders of these same little organizations together and maybe form a mass for all of them to come together at one time.
And of course, once you do that, you can have a lot of problems, especially if you start with the leaders. Because in this society, usually they tend to push, you know, the big fish in the little pond concept, see, and when you start talking about the leader, see if he's a leader with about 3 people behind him, or a leader with about 10 people, come throw it in and be a nobody with in 50 people, well, it's kind of difficult. It's not saying it cannot be done. It must be done, it must be attempted. But, and then also in many cases, these organizations are set up for different purposes. What you can do is bring all the organizations together and form a united front. Each organization can still function, but to make them a mass organization, that one a little bit more difficult. All right, we still also want to get ways to get the people's attention. One way, as you pointed out, is that we use word-of-mouth communications. Go around and say, there's a meeting, or we're trying to do this, we're trying to do that, and try and get the people together. I just got a flyer out at 14th and Euclid, where I live. They're moving us out of the neighborhood fast and moving in white people very rapidly, and people just started putting out a flyer saying, you know, our neighborhood is changing, we have to wake up, be aware of this, we're having a meeting Sunday at such and such a church, come. All right, so now when I saw the leaflet, I said, oh, there's some people working on it, good. But at least now I know. So this is one way they've gotten my attention, through the leaflet, and they had it stuck up on a public telephone booth, that I went to make a telephone call and I saw it and was able to read it. So this is one way of probably getting the attention of the people. Because the first thing we want to do is to get the attention of the people, at least. Any other ideas on getting the attention of the people? Must take the interest of the people. Must take the interest of the people. Must take the interest of the people.
I might sound a little off-key, but.
Let's put it on there.
We saw with the young kids, like in school, I don't know what we can do about the school system, but how we teach our kids. What we say to them is very important. Instead of teaching them tic-tac-toe, you know, teaching them that they don't get to from this point to that point, that can't be accomplished. You know, forget about the point that it's just a go around thing, you know, use it. I mean, we have a lot of opportunities over the kids, and we're not doing anything with them.
Well, the reason why we're not doing anything with them is because we're not organized. For example, I'm sure nobody in this church, I'm sure no African in Washington, D.C. hearing your remarks can disagree with it. Everybody must say yes, of course. See? But then now, the question of how is an organized force will even be telling the same thing. Because, for example, you may be telling your children something that you really think is good. You understand? Our sister here may be telling her children something she really thinks is good. Our brother here may be telling his children something he really thinks is good, but all 3 of them will be different. See, for example, my mother might tell me something that she really thinks is good, but I ain't going for it. So what you need is at least an organized force where you decide these things are good. And then everybody's saying the same thing at the same time, and feel better. So the problem is correct, but again, we come back to the central issue of the organization of the community.
I think you had a very good point, because you have the PTA within the school system, and if parents can relate to each other during those PTA meetings, a whole lot can be accomplished just through the schools, through the PTAs, because it's predominantly black, and I think you reach a lot of children that way. I think it's a good idea.
But it's still a question of organization.
But it's still an organization within the PTA, and if you have the right message to give, it can be joined together.
All right, then the question, I understand now. That is, for example, at least we must all be given the same message.
Right.
Yeah, so that's the problem. At least how we organize so we're all getting the same message.
But we can get one in each person in each area.
Yes.
Each guy something done, and that's where organization comes from.
I understand it. I'm not disagreeing with it. I'm just saying that even the one, for example, if we decide here, all right, there are 5 PTA meetings in Washington, all right, we're sending you to one, 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 we're sending you to one.
You have a message.
Yeah, but everybody must at least have the same message.
Same message.
Yeah, because you might go and talk one thing entirely different from.
Same message.
So the question of even getting those 5 organized first, that's the task.
You know, I was sitting here listening, with my ear, and this teacher over here in the school, there was an assistant principal, Richard Anacostia. She was teaching people, and the elder people hired to read, which they couldn't read, and got kids that's graduating from high school, they can't read. And they fired her. But I want to know where our black people stood behind her. And they fired her, Richard Anacostia. And what he was talking about, that together, I was like, nobody even must have me and trying to get this lady back on her job. And she was taking her time, teaching school at night, teaching the elder people how to read. And she got fired. And I was like, nobody even ever stood up for the lady enough. We got city councils, you understand? I mean, ain't saying nothing. We put John Wilson in there. Buried, all right. Legalizing marijuana and all that stuff. But what about this teacher over here that got fired? That was teaching the kids and grown people how to read. And I want somebody to answer that question. I wanted y'all to go over there and try to help the lady. That's what he was saying. That's what he was trying to say. That's what he was trying to say. You got to get it together.
The thing is not what you would say really organized, but the thing is the passing of knowledge. Ignorance is bliss.
No, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this. You get out of my ear with that. You can be dumb as you want, but go and try to put your effort forward.
This is what I'm saying, that if you have the knowledge, you can spread it along to the people. Like, talk to the people. If you have something to say, don't speak up. Don't be afraid to say it. Tell them about what's happening about the system that got fired. I didn't know anything about it.
That's what we're trying to say. Been on television. You can read, you can hear, can't you? It's read, listen to me. But listen to me. All right then. But can you read? Oh yeah, but can you help me get a job done? All you have to do, all it takes is petition people to get together. Now she did something for this community. She had to teach these people how to read, elder people, and everything, And
One mistake she made was she didn't organize them.
That's right, because when she taught, should have been more than that.
Oh, they were, but they're just a bunch.
They weren't organized.
But it don't take a whole mass of people to do really. It can be 3 or 4, and they can be just as effective.
But just read, just takes one for a whole lot.
Excuse me, sir.
It takes the people for everything now.
You mean
See, I wondered what you're going to say that.
You know I wasn't gonna let that one slide. I wasn't gonna let that one slide. No, the people got to do it.
I hope you heard it.
So the main basic is getting the people to believe what to organize is going to help them.
All right, that's a good point.
Because you know why? Like you said, your mom might tell you to do something, man, you're not going to do it right. Somebody tell them you made it. Because you know what? Every mother and father means the best for their child or children, but they don't know what's best for their child or children all the time, and especially after they grow up. I'm saying, who would say that? No, who would say that? But you
Be your own leader.
I know that. I am my own leader.
See what we doing now, what we doing now.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I am basically what we have now is a discrepancy.
No, it's all right. It's all right. There's nothing wrong with it because when we go to organize the people, now one thing we must understand: when we go to organize the people, everybody got different ideas, and we have to listen and understand and not jump.
I go to church, yeah. I go to funeral church, but I don't see you one. Like he married me. See, and he's married my wife. I go to church here and preach, other preachers preach that. But I listen to him, but still, God gave me 5 cents. God gave me 9. So I listen to him to a certain, wait a minute, I listen to him to a certain extent. But I use common sense and express my own self. And then that understand I don't have, I take it to God and ask him to give me a little more knowledge. That's what I'm trying to
You
say.
think God hear you?
Yeah. I can tell you some real deep stuff, but I'm not going to go into it. He heard me. I'm sitting here today. If it would be with him, I'd be in jail.
How you know?
Because God got me say yes.
How you know God let you sit here?
I I can't talk to you, nigga, you don't know.
Yes, well,
How do you know?
we were discussing all
Because you ain't know.
How do you know you're here?
No, let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you. Let me
I
explain
heard
something.
it, I heard it.
I said, once you go to organize the people, what I'm doing is just letting you show you some of the things. Because if you go to talk to somebody, for example, in the South, when I went to organize peasants, I couldn't walk in that room unless I started saying, good morning, it's a nice day, praise the Lord, thank Jesus, we're alive. If you don't say that, you can't even get up in the door. You understand? Now, the other day I was trying to talk to a brother who's a Muslim, all right, not community, just an Orthodox Muslim. Now, I couldn't get my foot in the door unless we start talking about Islam and Allah. You understand? Now, if I want to organize them, that's what it means, understanding where the people are. See, must understand where they are. So the people talking about God and Allah, even if you're not concerned with it, you better go on down there a little bit, dipping it before you can pull them back up.
What I'm trying to say to you, brother, is the guy walked through this door now, and he tell you that, man, I'm hungry, my family's hungry. What you trying to say? Is my family hungry? I haven't got a job. And you can tell him about God gonna help you, or rather close to tell him God. Then don't tell that man about God help. Put some food in that man's stomach right there and help his family. Then that's God helping him his family. Then he'll listen to you. But if you don't put some food in his stomach and his family's stomach, he ready to rob you, me, and everybody else in this church and God done rob in the street.
But you help yourself.
Immaterial.
You help yourself.
I know you help yourself, but the man looking for a job can't get a job. He's helping himself right there, brother.
You ain't help yourself. Man, but you know there's a lot of jobs out there.
You know, I mean, okay, so, wait a minute, hey, let me finish. You know, God help them who help themselves.
Yeah,
See,
right.
and if you don't help yourself, you can, if you well and don't try to help yourself, then you might, but if you get sick, you're gonna help you. If you well, he's gonna help you. If you're looking and seeking and trying,
But I don't buy that in no jobs.
I don't care what you gonna buy. You buy anything you do. You know, that's your prerogative
All right.
to believe what you want, but you know, I didn't come here to argue, but what you believe.
No, we can argue. Ain't nothing wrong with arguing for the truth now. Ain't nothing wrong with arguing. Let me just say something. Ain't nothing wrong with arguing for the truth.
But
this
no,
we can
but
argue.
that's not, it's always two sides to everything.
You know, they have a filibuster, you know.
Because I don't
This
see
thing
your
that's
side
happening.
don't mean that you're not right, don't mean I'm not right.
Well, I say you understand me. People say you understand me, no jobs out there, but you didn't hear what I said.
Oh,
There's jobs out there, but you help yourself.
It's jobs out there, but without it paying.
Now,
Can
don't
you
you
live
know one
off?
thing? Don't you know one thing? You sit around here
What can you live
and
off?
looking for the right thing, and the right thing will never go. Don't you know one thing? I hope you hear what I said. I hump trash. You know, people hollering about, oh, that Billy, working on the trash truck. So what? So what? So what? You understand me? I help myself. Now, I am self-employed. Did you hear that?
All right. This one got the floor now. All right, this brother got the floor now. We can argue, but we can only argue one at a time.
Yeah, I'm helping my brothers. You know, yeah, I'm helping my
All
brothers.
right, let's get the other brother a chance.
Right, I am.
I'd like to say something to all the people here. Our people want to know how can we organize. We got to organize by informing the people that this situation today that we were confronted with in 1977 is serious. Very serious. People's lives are at stake. And this is one of the ways that we can organize our people. Make our people identify. They must be able to identify with the seriousness of this situation. Because if they don't identify now, there will be no later.
Yeah, that's what I feel it is, the problem, putting problem in focus. You know, like, there's so many different opinions, religions, and different ways that people go about living their lives that you gotta choose the common ground that people have. And then if they don't wanna give it their own problem, like, one problem got versus like all of them. You know? If you can't organize along the grounds, then
All right.
you got no way to stop.
And now what we've got so far, the discussion is that a lot of people have said what has come out is that everybody got their own opinion about everything. All right? But now when you want to organize the people, everybody got to have the same opinion about the same thing. That's the only way you're going to organize it. So that means that if this brother here says that God can't do nothing for you, if this brother here says God can do everything for you, you understand, they'll never be able to be organized. So what we have to do is to find the meeting ground that will organize both of them. All right? Now there's only one meeting ground that will organize everybody, and that's the truth.
This is what I'm trying to come to. Is that it's not what you believe, but what it is.
I heard that.
That's what I'm trying to say. You can take me to the factory and you can tell me straight out and show me the fundamental steps from the base, from the little on up to the base stuff, and I can look at it with my eyes, but I can say, I don't believe it. But of course I don't believe it, but still it's what it is. That's what stands, the real thing. See, I mean, like having self-will. I stopped drinking liquor. You know why? I had self-will power. My wife couldn't make me stop. I ain't go to no doctor to get no take no medicine. I stopped because you know why? I know it wasn't doing me any good, and I know I wasn't born to drink it. And I know it made me sick, and it made me do crazy things, and get me in trouble and all that. So I said, I'm not gonna let something involved make me do it. So what it is, the real thing. Yes, it helped. It messed your mind up. It did. You hear that? I hope you hear that. I hope you hear it. I just want one of your head. No, I don't want to see people got two heads. Liquor make you doing this side out. Liquor make you do a lot. Liquor make you do. Yes, you do. Yeah, okay. Did you hear what I said? Liquor didn't make you do it.
This brother's talking from his own experience. You
You can't
can't sit there.
tell me what you can do. What matters. See what I'm saying?
See, I'm not talking about self-experience.
Well, I know what you're talking about. I'm talking liquor don't make you do nothing, dude. You can't say what liquor don't make you do. You can't say it don't make you do.
Well, this is the part. No. Just let it go. No, let it go. Let it go. Don't be so excited.
You got to organize.
Can I just say one thing? Let me just say one thing now. Organizing the people ain't gonna be no quick, fast, in a hurry job. Ain't gonna be that. And you can't think that you get people different in one room and in one day you're gonna get them all. No. Organizing is a constant, continuous, every day, little by little, tap, little by little, tap for years and years. And sometimes the work you do, the next generation gonna get it.
Well, what I'm saying, wait a minute, just a minute, let me comment on. He said drinking liquor ain't got nothing to do with this. Don't hear this. When you go to school to take up, for one thing, you got to take all kinds of substances to get that one. You can't just take that one substance you go to school for, brother. So liquor's involved in dope and everything is involved in organizing. Yeah. Yes, it is. Oh yeah. Yes, it is. I'm a little older than you are, and I got no sense to know that too better. Not that I know everything what's wrong there. I got a 10-year-old daughter can tell me something. I got a daughter in college can tell me something. I went to 12th grade, a daughter. I got a son in 11th grade. I got a son in 7th. They can tell me something. But I think I can tell them something too. We can tell each other something, brother.
I hear you.
I know.
Okay, my sister.
Got my ear.
I bet my life on it. And I bet everybody's life in from this world.
All right, let's get the sister now. Let's get our sister
You
over
learn
here.
something every day.
All right, let's get our sister over here. She'll help us.
I wrote a poem that I wanted to read to the crowd, and it says, blessed are the music makers, Nina Simone, Josephine Baker, only to name a few, precious is the one who do. Blessed are those who paved the way, now we can see the light of the new day. You're being pacified to forget we're black, always remember we can never go back. Acknowledge your culture, it's never too late. Remember, only the truth can separate. I'm not a militant, reality is sufficient. Before you are anything, you are human, only human. The world is the God of man form. So all I'm saying, we put him in a lot of games, and he's like, we have to organize, we have to get to the point, but I didn't help in seeing what it is, that's why I'm here.
And the way to organize is to believe that we can be organized.
Oh, we know it. We don't have to believe that. We know. We know we can be organized. That ain't no belief. We can do it. There ain't no belief. We
But you
know.
got to do something about it. You got to do something about it. You got to do something about it. See, go talk is cheap.
All right. I can't hear you. I'm sorry. A little bit louder.
I said, well, the organized, you have to have something to organize behind before.
Yes.
And like, for example, like, we as black people, as far as our housing, education, this right here, you could organize behind that. I'm saying, you can get to a point when you start talking about religion, Islam, or whatever. This is going all day. But I'm saying, we as the people, our educational system, our housing system, I'm saying, we have so many problems that we could come together on.
Right.
Like,
Let me ask you a question.
that's something that everybody agrees.
All right.
You know, this is what you organize behind.
All right, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question on that one. I'm telling you, I just don't want you to jump behind him before I get my point in, then he might slow you down. We have housing problems. We have unemployment problems. We have education. We have every type of housing. Even the garbage in our community is not properly collected. All right, so there's a problem. Now, if we organize the people, now, of course, man and woman, we are made up, and the world itself made up of two things, material and immaterial things. Even Jesus says, man shall not live on bread alone. You understand that? That's a powerful statement. You understand? Like you say Islam and you say Christianity, they've been around for 2,000 years. You understand? The problems that people had in them 2,000 years already solved. You understand? For example, if we organize the people around housing today, and let's say we solve housing today, what's going to happen tomorrow? But we still got to keep it together. You
This is what I'm
understand?
saying, you got to start somewhere.
Yes.
Once you get started, and these basic, you know, I'm okay, let's say material aspect to begin with.
Yes, now there's the material and the immaterial.
So, this is the first thing on our mind.
No, yes, but there's
I'm
the material.
saying, you have to start somewhere, the housing, whatever you start with, the only can you to tomorrow.
Right. Now the question is, do we want to make, what type of organization how do we want to organize the people? Do we want to organize the people on a temporary basis, or do we want to organize the people on a permanent basis? Now when I say permanent, I don't mean 30 years, you understand? I mean thousands of years. You understand the difference? We want to organize it like when Mohammed started organizing Islam. He wasn't organizing to go put some water in the desert. You understand? He was organizing 2,000 years. When Jesus started organizing, he wasn't just organizing, he was organizing thousands of years. He was going to put an organization which has proper principles, you understand, and was going to stay. So when we talk about organizing, we're not even talking about just clearing up the problems that this generation has. We want to make sure this one ain't going to have none.
Right, that's what I'm talking.
That's what I'm talking about. So that means that while we understand the housing is there, the unemployment, all of those things, if you're not careful, become primary rather than secondary. Because once the people are organized, ain't no problem they can't deal with.